Hi, this is part 3 of 7. It's a series for homeschool parents who are just beginning, looking to get ready quickly. So I'm providing you 7 days of action-packed, quick tips. You will have a morning session of 30 minutes, an afternoon session of 30 minutes, and an evening session of 30 minutes. The quick win um, for every single one of them will be not just theoretical knowledge and some ideas that you probably didn't know before about homeschooling, especially if you were not homeschooled yourself. You have no idea about some of these details. And then you will get very quick wins in terms of practical, actionable, tactical steps that you can take in one day. Simple things, one thing that you can do in the morning, one thing in the afternoon, one thing in the evening. And then by the end of the video, you will know exactly what to do. So the day 3 is beyond the books, right? We did the legal foundation in video 1. We worked on some core curriculum choices in number 2. Now this is day 3, beyond the books. In the morning, we are going to do some planning for our enrichment activities. So that means music, art, sports, youth orchestra, band, science olympiad teams. My children were on a science olympiad team. They were in a youth symphony orchestra. There are chess clubs out there. Look at your local library, your community calendar. We never joined a chess club. I taught my children how to play chess, but they never joined a club. 4-H clubs, we did not do that, but I have many friends who have done it and they love it. They love 4-H. Robotics teams, we almost joined one, but for the most part my kids did. We bought a lot of robotics kits for them and they did them here at the house. I think on my blog homeschoolways.com I have several posts about these EV Mindstorms. I think it was a Lego set. Then art classes. We took a bunch of art classes in town. Take into consideration their ages, right? Your commitment level, your cost, your transportation. For instance, we always live 30 minutes to an hour from major opportunities for enrichment. It's just our lot in life. I have had to accept it. If I want to do orchestra with the kids, we gotta go an hour. If I want to do Science Olympiad with the kids, it's an hour and 20 minutes. If I want to go to co-op with the kids, it's an hour away. So what can I say? Speaking from experience, some things are worth the price. You can do a lot of things in the car, or you can just say, you know what? It's not worth it. We're not driving home. We did not do a co-op until high school, by the way. I just, we tried it when they were in preschool because everybody was worried about my children's socialization. And I tried it for one semester and I remembered all the reasons why I'm not in public school with my kids. All the reasons. So I said, forget it. We are at home. And this is where we do everything. And we're going to do a little art class here, a little orchestra, but not a weekly co-op. Weekly commitments, I found for me, they were very difficult with small children. Right, so cost, transportation, look at all that. So here's your quick win for the morning session. Contact one program for details. One program. One program. Let's say you're a chess master or wannabe chess master. You just love chess and you want to transmit that love of chess for your children, to your children. Teach them yourself, but if you want them involved in a club, go for it, absolutely. Now, we've come to the afternoon. Like I told you, these sessions are meant to be 30 minutes. Don't overwhelm yourself. If you get bogged down into too many details and go down a rabbit hole too much, no, just stop, right? This is the afternoon session now. Sports and arts integration. Check your public school policies because where I live, my kids could go on any team and try out, and the coaches would be interesting. Let's use the word interesting. The coaches would be interesting if they refused a child who could actually run better than the children in the public school system just because, oh, this is a homeschooler and let's not put them on him. Usually most coaches are wonderful and they want to promote merit for their team. So try out for band, orchestra, sports participation rules, theater opportunities. Your local schools, private or public, might have things. The YMCA has programs, there are recreation leagues, there are community centers. My children went to a community center which happened to be 5 minutes away from our house. That was the one thing that was 5 minutes away from our house. And it was wonderful because they accepted different ages in the same class. So I didn't have to wait an hour for this child to do taekwondo and then this other child. The teacher was able to have a multi-level classroom. What does that remind you of? The wonderful schools that we used to have, the schoolhouses of the American prairie, right? The American beginners, American beginnings, right? The beginnings of America, where we had a bunch of kids in the same classroom, different levels, and everybody helped each other, and somehow everybody learned, and amazing. They could spell in third grade better than, don't even get me started. Okay, music teachers. We did that. We did a lot of music, and we did Skype and Zoom and in person and a combination. That's a whole different topic for another time, which I will develop another time. But for now, this is your afternoon session. Quick win. Schedule one trial class or lesson. Let me tell you something. Very important for you to interview the teacher. Very important for your child to interact with this teacher and get the vibe. When we picked a violin teacher, we were via Zoom with both. One was in California, one was in Canada. We're in Tennessee. I couldn't find anybody here locally, and I was tired of driving an hour because I did that for 2 years and I got burned out. And so I was like, it's going to be online. And we interviewed with the lady in California. We interviewed with the lady in Canada. We found the one in Canada was more suitable for us. And that's what we did. So there's something you can do. A lot of times these teachers will have a website. They will have a contact form. Just schedule a trial lesson with them. And that brings us to the evening. In the evening, you will work on a socialization calendar. If there's anything that people are worried about when you tell them, oh, I'm going to homeschool my children, it's socialization. A lot of times they will ask you, well, do you know how to teach them everything? But most of the time, I would say 90% of the people will be like, what about socialization? Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to map up regular meetups, weekly co-op, if it works for you. It didn't work for me until high school. Now we love it. High school, for us, perfect. Monthly field trips, great. Monthly we could do. We could not do weekly commitments, but we could do monthly. Park days. There are a lot of these groups in your area that will have a park day. And the kids just run around and play, and they're outside, and the moms socialize, and it's great. Library programs, preschool or otherwise. And what you're trying to do is to balance unstructured with structured time, right? You want your kids to be able to be kids and to have unstructured, uninterrupted playtime with other kids by themselves, but also some structured activities. So strike that balance. You want to create a contact list of homeschool families. Why not? There are some moms that have the energy to organize their own group, their own hiking club. Go for it. If you feel called to do that, absolutely. And here's your quick win. Join a local Facebook group. There are so many Facebook groups out there. And you know your area, you know how far you want to drive. Do some searches and find them and put them on a, join. Sometimes you have to answer those questions, how old are your kids? What are you looking for? That type of stuff. And so that was day 3 out of 7. And go forth and conquer. And I will see you in the next video. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir.